caved my brother's head in with a beer bottle.
Well, I guess let's kick off this party rocker in the house
tonight.
Right. Is it already begun?
Yes. Good.
Wow. Holy shit.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like me?
Don't you wish your girlfriend was deceased like me?
Wait. Please no. I don't know.
Well, anyway, welcome to our 4th episode of the podcast.
Yes.
Very proud to say that this has continued on with the amount of failures we have.
Sorry.
What was that?
Oh, that's my mommy. No, it's just someone else.
We're recording. Oh shit! I got a message.
Well, anyway, all of the failures, including that most recent one.
What most recent one?
Doo-doo-doo.
Oh.
You know, the time where we thought we were prepared but weren't at all.
Are we ever prepared?
Every time?
Yeah. So today we're back at you again with
sick
your
memes.
No, I was gonna say your usual hosts, but I guess those are synonymous. That was Tyler. It's me, Kyle, and then our host of host Eric's. Connor died in a car crash, so he's not here.
I killed him.
Yes, it was a car crash by us. It was after the fireball incident.
It was on Live Leak.
Yeah.
He'll be back someday. We'll get the old resurrection spell, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you know. We're back at it again, drinking our Brother Jameson.
Brother Jameson.
Please don't ever say that again.
Brother Jameson.
Brother.
We're drinking our Brother Jameson.
We didn't say what part of him we're drinking.
We could be drinking out his soul, his blood.
They're still bad.
We're mixing in some of his ashes. You know, it's like a kind of our honor thing.
You make like a smoothie out of it, you know.
Disgusting.
A slurry of Jameson.
The Jameson slurry. We did him proud.
Please stop.
Topics. What's the most recent? Oh, yeah. Bella Delphine got deleted.
Yeah,
did
I
she?
saw that today.
Yeah.
What did she do?
A lot of mass
She got mass
reported for nudity.
post-blocked or whatever. She got reported for nudity and pornography, and they deleted her account. So Bella Delphine is no more.
I wouldn't say that. She'll most likely get it
Oh
back.
yeah, she'll be back.
She'll come back with a vengeance.
Actually, she may just kind of fizzle out like Momocon did.
Maybe she'll come back as Della Belfine.
She'll come back with a full force. She'll be Momophine.
Oh no. What if she just becomes a supermassive black hole that just brings in all
That's
of the
my favorite Muse song.
Moose.
That's my favorite Moose song. Supermassive back doll.
Super moosive. Well, we rejoice, all ye heathens who never wanted to receive the gamer girl pee.
Or bathwater.
or that. But who cares about that?
I just can't stop but thinking about how much money she probably made off of that.
Oh, a lot.
But the funniest thing is, she's been a known trickster. You kind of have to respect her for her wit.
She's got that hustle in mind for
she
sure.
She does, and I can respect that. On all other faults, no, I don't like her.
I do not like her.
From her TikTok grinds to Patreon to her Pornhub scandal.
That was my favorite one. That made me laugh so hard. Just thinking about all the people that, because you don't need to buy a premium account on Pornhub. No. There's no point. You're just getting more. That's it. But she baited all of these people into getting one. And then, no payoff. She trolled so many people.
She ruined so many big cums.
And
I bet you people still fucking beat their meat to her videos.
And
Probably.
Thinking about it as well, that was pretty much pure profit with the bathtub water as well. And she didn't even have to put that much work into it either, because the funniest thing is, there were a bunch of traces coming back saying that it did not contain any human content in it. Like, no skin follicles, hair, or anything like that. So that means that she just filled up a bathtub, maybe threw a $10 bath bomb in it to give it a bit of a scent, and then she bottled it up and sold it.
You see,
that's pure profit.
The thing I'm wondering about, because she had like specific little jars for it. I wonder how much those jars cost her.
Probably dirt cheap.
Probably, but I just
had them mass produced because she knew that she would sell a lot of them.
Oh, I'm so surprised I sold out. No, you're not. We know your ways, you tricksy rabbit.
We know your ways, and we know the people that like you.
Yeah, I was saying, you just gotta think about the people who actually willingly bought that shit.
You know what?
As much as I dislike her, I'm also starting to really dislike a lot of the people that liked her, too.
She could come back into the furry scene. Bella Dolphin.
Kill yourself.
I'm working on it.
That was bad for a Kyle joke
Dolphins
as well.
are like the sex fiends of the sea, dude.
They are rapists.
They can come be like fucking dolphin girl water.
Ew.
just
it tastes like fish.
Please just stop with this joke.
Are you
on the topic of?
Do you have topics instead, Tyler?
On the topics of dolphins and sea mammals.
Oh boy.
I'm reminded of a time when I went to the good old other side of Canada, known as British Columbia, Vancouver, and I didn't view it as that big of a thing as when I was younger. I just kind of saw it as, man, I go see whale. But I, looking back, I've been told recently that I was possibly one of the last people to ever see something like this happen, where we go out on the boat with just some tour guide, and he gets up really close to the whales, and we find out that they aren't really the normal orcas that are patrolling around that area. I can't remember what they were called. I think that they were called like Tarrant whales, or I want to say Revenant whales.
Holy whales of terror!
They were different whales. Like, they were orcas, but they were like super aggressive ones, like ones that weren't native to that area. So they came in and they wanted to eat and they wanted to fuck. But we get up really close to them, and which is completely illegal. You can't do that now, and you couldn't do that back then either.
Nice.
But we're just seeing these whales jump out, and we're seeing them feed too, which is a pretty rare thing to see when you're out on a boat. Mm-hmm. And they're breaching like right beside the boat, like it's shaking and the waves are hitting it. And I was kind of like, oh, cool, but my parents were like, okay, this is fucking dangerous.
We're about to die.
But
to whales.
We're seeing the whales jump out of the water and just rip these seals to shreds. And like, when I was younger, I just saw it as, yeah, I got to see whale eat, but like, looking back now, I was like, oh, that was a cool thing to see. I might have been one of the last people to kind of see that in person, because I remember looking down at the water, and then I just see this massive squall of just white and black emerge right in front of my eyes, like, not even a few meters away from me, and those eyes just looking back at me and just jumping out of the water and doing whale shit. I was like, ugh. It was kind of scary.
So what you're saying is you had a whale of a time.
I did have a whale of a time. It was a cool experience. Would I ever do it again? No, because I can't.
Well, yeah, I guess that's a pretty good reason.
I talked to my my microwave GF the other day, and I said, hey, baby, what's cooking? And she said, beep, beep.
Your microwave GF got really nervous real quick.
No, the food was just done.
Whatever's cooking, it's done. But you put it in for too long, so it didn't taste very good.
It was my nut.
You put a spoon in there and she went wacky.
Yo, you hit it from the back, you just throw a spoon in there. Whoa!
I guess you put your dick in there, turn it on, and take it for a spin.
That reminds me of a funny TikTok I saw.
Oh no.
It was just a guy that he opened up the microwave and he put his phone in it, and then he closed the door, and I'm like, oh, this man's about to microwave his phone. But then he walked over to the table and he sat on it and he started spinning himself around. It gave me a hearty chuckle.
That was a trend on TikTok a while back.
What, microwaving your phones or spinning on tables?
Just spinning. Because it was too slow dancing.
Slow Dancing in the Dark
Yeah.
by Joji.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
As much as I like Joji, and I appreciate his music,
I
for the
miss
small
Filthy
amount
Frank.
of him that I listen to, I do miss Filthy Frank. And just that level of internet that it was at that time, with him running amok with Max Mofo and iDubbbz. It was definitely a very interesting time on YouTube.
You couldn't do that shit nowadays.
No, certainly not.
I guess it's just an era of the internet that is lost to time now.
Which sucks.
You guys remember, like, Crazy Frog and, like, all that other stuff around that time?
All too well.
Like, all your base are belong to us, and this is Sparta.
Yeah.
I used to think that was so funny, and now looking back, I'm like, I only ever say those things ironically now.
I remember back listening to these This Is Sparta remixes all the time and shit, and I'm like, this is the pinnacle.
Life will never be
Remember
better than
the
this.
Stormtrooper one?
The one that you absolutely pissed your pants over?
Not that
Oh,
one.
the one where it was like, ba-da-ba-ba.
Yeah.
And like
one
it was
we
just
watched.
a stormtrooper thrusting.
Oh, yeah.
The
one-
OG
The
one.
stormtrooper in the fucking, like, parking lot or something.
Yeah.
That's a fucking
We all used
oldie.
to find that shit funny. Now we just look back and like, why the fuck do we find this
Why
funny?
did I laugh at this? And now I know that looking back, like maybe 10 or even 5 or even 2 years from now, we're gonna see that picture of the open-eyed laughing emoji with like 5 filters put on it, and we're gonna be like, why did I like this?
Why did I enjoy this?
You guys enjoying your fucking, what's it called, like deep fried memes or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Deep.
I've kind of it's not that I've strayed away from them, it's just there's so many more different renditions of them that they just continue to evolve. Like they've been around for a while now, but they aren't going away, and they aren't getting worse at the same time either.
There's in a neutral state.
It's just interesting to notice that we go through these eras of memes.
Yeah, like recently from Area 51 to that stupid
Area 50.
old man filter thing.
I never really cared much for the old man filter. Area 51's getting kind of scary. It went from a joke to the I don't know how
Air
much
Force.
of this is true. It could all be random speculation or just false flags or whatever. But people saying that the hotel closest to Area 51 in Nevada has been fully booked up for September on that specific day.
Oh
And,
boy.
The plane tickets to Nevada are like 300,000 more people than usual for that time in September as well.
Damn.
So it could just be a coincidence, or it could not be true, but it's kind of a little bit nerve-wracking to say the least.
How does it feel to know that meme movements get better traffic than real movements?
Honestly.
It's because meme movements are more interesting.
Yeah, that is true. I'd rather go to see them aliens than go to see them Trump. I don't know.
I'm honestly excited for the 2020 election, because the 2016 election was just so good for memes. It was hilarious the entire way through.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people fucking pissed off at Trump.
Yeah, a lot of people angry on each side. And again, I'll say I don't care for politics that much. I don't feel like voting for anyone because I know that, I guess it's typical to say, but no politician is really that great. And if they are, they just get crushed underfoot by the ones that spout things that aren't true.
But yeah. I mean, luckily for the American elections, doesn't matter to us. We're not American.
Exactly.
Granted, on Twitter, Trudeau must go or some shit was trending for a while.
No, why?
Why do they want to get rid of our meme magician?
Because apparently Trudeau sucks. I don't know anything about politics, but like a bunch of it is like, oh, Trudeau's the worst.
He's going through a Mr. Dress-Up phase. And I thought that was pretty funny. I don't really care. We're gonna get messed up by the government either way.
True.
Let's move on to lighter things. Area 51. You guys want to see alien coochie or you want technology?
Both. Cyber alien coochie.
Ah! A man of culture.
You gotta think big. Like big alien coochie.
I want to see the blue alien from the Fifth Element movie.
Which one was that one?
The one with Bruce Willis and the main chick from the Resident Evil movies.
Whisperless.
What was her actual name?
Claire Redfield.
Mila,
she wasn't
Mila
Claire.
Jovovich or something like
Mila
that.
Kunis.
Not that one, but what Kyle said.
I don't know. I don't know actors. Because I'm
You
bad
don't
at
want a
remembering
better
those
blue
names.
alien. There's so many more out there.
I want the 3-boobed alien from
That's
Total
dumb.
Recall.
That's dumb. You don't have 3 hands.
I don't
Why
need 3
would
hands.
you need the third boob?
It is useless.
Just because.
It is useless.
So?
There is no practicality, no grabability.
Who says there need to be?
I mean, could use 2 hands and then mouth, but I mean,
There's so much
there's
better
so much
things to put
better
between two
things
boobs.
out
though.
there. There's so much more potential for alien.
You ever heard less is more?
No.
What do you mean no?
More is more.
More is more.
More is better.
Okay, so cobble literally everything you like together into one thing. Literally everything.
Bro, that's scary.
That's just a normal female.
Professionals have taste. Actually, I said that wrong. Professionals have preference.
I just want a big titty goth chubby
And
GF.
that is preference.
I
You
just
can't
want a
have
gray.
you can't have skinny and chubby
Skinny's
and
disgusting.
big titty and small titty all cobbled into one. It's not possible.
Just imagine you get you a girl and she got
A
one
grill.
big titty and one itty titty.
That's possible if she had fucking breast cancer.
Well, yes, I suppose it is. I'm just saying, there's a lot better things out there than a third boob.
Yeah, like gray aliens.
Hey, let me.
Imagine imagine it's like fucking The Walking Dead or something, where they're in the prison and there's just zombies against the fence or whatever, except it's Area 51 and there's a bunch of weebs at the fence and they're all just going, hey, I love you.
That's probably what it'll be until they get shot.
We need to conserve our ammo.
The scariest thing is, though, we might bear witness to a massacre.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because the Air Force is in on it, and there's obviously going to be ground troops, and they're going to be there waiting for them. Because what has Area 51 had to worry about for a while? It's just been like one guy with a recorder for like the longest time, and he's going to be like, oh, I'm going to go in there, and I'm just going to take pictures, and they're like, yeah, go away, Gary.
Little did they know it was Steve
They
Irwin
arrest
all
him, and then
along.
they send him to jail for like a few months. But this is like possibly thousands upon thousands of people. They're going to be ready. And they're going to be a lot more ready than a bunch of weebs trying to Naruto run. So we very well might see a massacre.
Maybe. And that'll be funny.
It will be. I don't really have sympathy for the people that are going. Like, yeah, it was a funny meme, but I didn't think that people would actually take it seriously.
I'd be amazed if they made it out there in the first place. I wouldn't want to go into the Nevada fucking desert.
I don't want to go to Nevada at all.
Yeah, same.
Apparently the guy who started the whole like page and everything did an interview on the news.
Oh, of course he did.
Why would he do that?
I don't know, probably to ward off people from actually doing it.
Do you have any information on what this sacred being has said?
I couldn't find the actual video.
Maybe because it
Fake
doesn't exist.
news!
Fake news! You are fake news.
You are fake news. You see, this is why you needed to come up with some topics in that hat of yours.
We Tyler.
How
I
was
am
your
a busy
Warhammer
man.
session?
My Warhammer session. Oh, okay.
I saw the picture on Instagram.
Yes. For those that don't know, I'm super into Warhammer. I really like Warhammer. So recently I bought a Chaos Knight, which is a big boy.
Big boy.
Not as big as a Titan, but a really big boy. And it went relatively well. It was 4 of my friends against me, my one friend, and my other friend. I'm not going to say their names. So it was kind of unfair because we had an 8th person that was going to be there that just didn't make it. But we managed, and it was 1,000 points. So we were able to field quite a bit. So I got the knight out there. I got my my Chaos Rhino, and a squad of Terminators and 2 squads of...
Chaos Rhino, you say? Do you mean me and the boys about to kill some chaos?
But we had a decent amount, and we got crushed.
Oh boy.
we didn't do too well, mainly because we just didn't have a 4th person on our team, so we weren't really able to hold our own too well. And we were given the task to attack them when we probably should have defended. But so we were essentially just given spears and told to charge at a line of machine guns.
Hell yeah.
So it didn't work out too well. I had some good plays where I just marched the knight up and I kind of held off some of the other guys so that my Rhino could have all the people in it disembark and get in combat with some of the more tricky opponents to deal with.
Twixie Wabbits.
But my Terminators got liquefied in one turn.
Damn, I guess that's how you create the T-9000s. I'm not sure if that's the actual code. It's been forever since I've fucking watched Terminator.
What was the 3rd one? The 3rd one was just a combination of the first Terminator and the last, and the Liquid Terminator.
I don't know.
They
Maybe it was
made
a gas
They made it
Terminator.
woman in the 3rd Terminator movie.
You see, I'm gonna be honest. When I think of the
Dog.
fucking dog, when I think of the Terminator movies, I remember 1, I remember 2, but I can't really remember much of 3. I always
It wasn't a good movie,
when you think
put
of
it that
like
way.
I just remember Terminator Salvation.
which also was not a good movie.
No, it wasn't.
I
Pretty bad.
Their
one-
peak was number 2. That was as good as they could get.
Terminator Salvation just mashes in my head with Genesis. I can never tell them apart.
Genesis was...
But I always the thing I always remember is the Terminator TV show.
I never saw the Terminator TV show.
You're probably fine. It was
All I
just,
remember is one of my old friends, Jacob, talking about it because they went through a Terminator phase, and all they talked about was Terminator, and they kind of roped me into it as well without ever seeing a Terminator movie.
Hell yeah.
And it was, your kids. You're playing pretend, and then some people actually think it's real, or you convince people that it is real. I was one of the people that was convinced that it was real.
Oh no.
And they brought a toy gun to school and said, if you see somebody acting like a Terminator, tell me and I will shoot them. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I broke a ruler in half and I had it sharpened so that if I ever saw somebody acting like a Terminator, I could cut their skin off and see if they actually were one.
What the fuck?
It's like The Thing, but Terminator.
And they were like, you don't know who one could be. It could be one of the teachers. It could be one of us. And I'm like, and I was just under a constant state of just fear, just pure fear. But they talked about the show, and the only part of the show that I remember, because it's the only one that I ever really paid attention to them talking about, it was some guy got shot in the nipple or something, and one person plugged it with their finger. I don't know if they remember this right, or if I'm remembering this right, but I thought that it was funny. That just brings me all the way back to grade 8 now. Actually, I have a topic.
Oh, hell yeah.
And this will segue into what I'm about to say. And I'll let you guys go first. What's the worst thing you've ever done?
Oh, it's a long list.
See, I was actually...
Well, it can't be a long list if there's only one.
There's more than one. There's a lot. Give me like a specific...
Well, how am I supposed to give you a specific? It's your life.
Okay, here's the specifics. You've done...
I was one of them stupid kids. Do you know, like, when you go to a highway, like, you would throw, like, acorns and stuff at cars?
Oh, Jesus.
No. I don't know that. I've never done that.
I've never done that. The worst thing I ever did was I went to a busy street and I was like, yo, you want to flip off cars?
I remember I threw one, and as I hit a car, it went into the wheel. Like, it looked like it went into the wheel, and you hear a loud ass noise right after, and the lady whips to the side. I was like,
God.
Fuck, I gotta run.
Tyler, you killed a family of 5 that day.
I saw her get out of the car, and I was gone. I went straight home, ran to my basement, and hid behind a fucking couch because I was scared I was. There's this other one where I used to live. They were building like a self car wash kind of deal, and mid construction, all of us, my group of friends at the time, would go there, climb around it and shit. As we're all climbing around, there's Tim Hortons across from it. Guess who's at Tim Hortons? A group of cops. We're just playing on as they're watching us, and 2 decided to come towards us, and we're all like, fuck. So I jump off the top level and bolted home.
I wouldn't really necessarily say that was a bad thing that you did. You were just being childish and goofy.
You were being a child and you got caught. God, I struggle to think about bad things I've done because I didn't do a whole lot when I was young.
I got another one.
Oh boy.
The troublemaker.
This is the bad boy episode.
I remember playing with my friend, and he had... Remember, like, old hockey sticks, like old metal ones?
Ooh.
He had recently broke off the top of it, and he still had, like, the tape on the top, so, like, it got, like, loose, so we would fucking spin that shit around. One time, as I'm spinning it around, the tape rips off, and it goes flying towards my friend. And it hits him right in the forehead. And it cut up his forehead.
I wouldn't really say that was something bad either. That was
he was probably a dick.
That was
Doesn't
just
matter.
a mishap.
That's still pretty fucking bad. He had to get stitches and everything.
But it wasn't your fault. Or his.
I felt so bad.
It was just an accident. Did he hate you after?
Nah, we hung out the next week.
That is fine.
Then you're good.
I had a time like that where it wasn't really my fault either. Well, I don't know. I was a dumb kid, but it was grade 2, and it was one of those days in school where it's like, okay, we have a bunch of events going on at the school. You cycle through each of them throughout the day, and in one of the classes, it was folded paper airplane, and then just throw it around for 15 minutes. That was it.
Remember those?
But I had one of my, for my session, I was with one of my other friends who was really good at folding paper airplanes for some odd reason.
That was a talent people had back then.
It was.
Almost
I
as good as
envied
making that S thing.
I envied people that were able to make good paper airplanes because I never could. I always did those stupid, big, bulky ones that didn't fly that well. But he made me a good one. And the second I throw it, I kind of throw it at a downward angle, and then the wind just kind of picks it up, and it goes straight into some chick's eye.
Feels bad.
And she said, "Ow!" And then me being heavily autistic and in second grade, I said, "It's not my fault!" And then I grabbed the paper airplane and I stomped it and I ran away.
Damn.
God, I just think of that and being a kid and like being really exaggerated with hand motions and doing whatever, and then you just get your thumb in the kid's eye. Ever
Kids
done
are
that
really-
before?
Kids are really bad for that. I remember one time I was picking my brother up from I think it was senior kindergarten, and I was just kind of walking over to the door, and I was a still object. I stopped moving, just kind of looking at my phone, waiting for him to come out, and then I just feel, boom! This little junior kindergarten kid slam into my hip, and then just kind of look over at him, and he plops over on the ground, and then he gets up really quickly, points at me, and says, "It was your fault!" And then he keeps running.
Had a flashback to his junior kindergarten years.
Bro, remember you weren't even back in elementary. We you could get there was of course a little parts that connected to the parking lot that allowed vehicles to go to around back of the school. But of course they didn't always have it open. What they had just two metal poles and a chain between them. Just so
I had one of those too.
Okay, so you probably know what's coming then. You'd sit there and fucking you would just be you'd be going through, and rather than walk off to either side, you just step over the chain. But then of course you'd see on either side or whatever, you'd see some kid standing there with this fucking wild grin on his face, holding the chain, and you know what's coming. And I just sit there. I want to walk over to these kids and slap them.
Yeah, I remember back in grade 8, you used to talk a lot with your hands, even back then.
Yeah, probably. I do a lot of things with my hands, most of which not good and involve destroying them. But
I remember one time, one of my other friends, we were just chilling at the school. This was
chilling out, Max, and relaxing, all cool.
Yeah, this was probably around like grade 9. We went back to our old school and we just kind of hung out around there, just walked around, and he said, "I bet I can jump that now." So we ran over full force, and he didn't make it. It wrapped around his foot, and he just slammed his head into the ground. And I was like,
My man dead.
"He's dead."
He is deceased. When I was young, all the kind, like most people do something and get themselves hurt. I didn't. Other people did, and they hurt me. So I'd be walking around minding my own business, but then you'd be walking past one of the little playground things, and someone would be like, "Monkey bars!" They'd sprint at it, and they'd just swing, and they'd nail me right in the fucking lip with their foot.
I was subject to that as well.
Yeah, that
Did
was
I
a
ever
common
tell you
one.
about Kickin' Albino Day?
I've heard of this before.
Well, there was always the classic Kick a Ginger Day, and there was just the regular old bag tag.
Natural.
But because I wasn't subject to Kick a Ginger Day, because I'm a blonde fellow, I've always had very fair and pale skin. You guys can tell that, but the viewers can't. But
Yeah.
they created Kickin' Albino Day, and it just so happened to be around the same time as bag tag time, which always... I don't know why the fuck it always happened, but it was always around the same time of year. Dealt with that shit for like 8 years. I never played bag tag, but I was subject to it. and it was Kicking Albino Day, which only happened for 1 year, thankfully. But I was hanging out with that same friend that slammed his head into the pavement. I was just kind of playing around on the monkey bars, and then he yelled, "Bag Bino Day," and then he sucker punched me in the dick. I have never been in so much pain in my entire life, and I was in so much pain and shock that I did not let go of the monkey bars. I was white-knuckling for a minute.
That kind of reminds me. Not really a bad thing, except for me, because I was an idiot. And stop me if I've told this one on an episode that actually got out before. I think I told
doubtful.
this. I think I told this one on one of the lost episodes that never happened. Trust me. Back in elementary, when we had to have 2 pairs of shoes, one for indoors and outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, this one. And it was the thing is, you're in elementary and shit, and kids are like, "Haha, I'm gonna steal your shoes," because you had to leave them out in the hallway. So I said, "Fuck it, I'll just only wear outdoor shoes." So I only wore outdoor shoes, and of course I'd track some dirt in, and the teacher would be like, "You gotta wear some different shoes, you fucking idiot." So I decided I'll just wear no shoes. I'll take off my shoes, and you're gonna fucking deal with it. Fun fact: teachers didn't notice for a very long time, but I would go to gym without shoes, and there was one time the only teacher that noticed that was a substitute teacher who was kind of off-putting. She would look at some students very weird, but she just
Was
noticed.
she a pedophile?
Maybe. But, she was like the only one who noticed. She's like, "Are you not wearing shoes?" I'm like, "Nah."
Maybe all of your teachers noticed and they just didn't question it after a while.
they just thought it was fucking retarded, which I probably was. But this all came to a head during a fire drill. And, fire drills, the way they work is you go outside and you stand in the fucking field out back.
This was during
school.
winter, wasn't it?
Yep. Middle of winter. Ice and snow everywhere. And, of course, it's a fire drill, so they ain't gonna let you stop for shit. And so they kind of just push us all outside, and I'm standing there on the fucking snow and ice, just wearing some socks. And no one noticed, except eventually someone sees me just kind of dancing around, trying to keep only 1 foot on the ground at a time, trying to stand in this one patch of melted ice where there's a bit of grass showing. He's like,
"You should have taken your pants off and then just stood on them."
he looks at me. He's like, "The fuck are you doing? What are you dancing around for?" And I'm just like, "What do you think, dummy?"
I think that might have been me.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, because I remember, I remember that day. I remember, we always go back to the tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing you dancing around. I was like, what the fuck's this guy doing?
What's this idiot doing? Well, I was trying to keep my feet warm. It didn't work. My feet were very cold. And I get back inside and I said, "Well, shit. I didn't like that. I'm just going to wear outdoor shoes again." That's why teachers didn't like me. Because they're like, "Oh, you're tracking dirt in. Get the janitors to fix it." Well, you gotta make the janitor's life difficult. It's their fucking job. Like, I have lost so many pairs of shoes in these goddamn hallways. I ain't gonna do it no more. So there you go.
I always hate sitting beside the one person who legit, he'd always make it his objective to have, his whole under his desk, just dirt.
I never had those, honestly.
I did, and it was so annoying. Because you'd kick it over to my side and be like, "Bro, fuck off."
Bro.
That was back then when certain teachers would, reward you for having, a neat desk and all that. And there's dirt under mine from the fucking guy beside me. I was so pissed off.
I never won any of those awards because I didn't care to.
She
I slammed all of my notes into my desk and I did not care for them.
What I would always do as she's coming by to check, I'd be like, "Okay, so put that shit to that side, put that shit to that side."
Sweep it off.
Honestly.
You see, I fucking hated that, because of course back then you just leave all your shit inside your desk. You leave your rulers, your pencils, your fucking books and papers, just leave it all in your desk. Well, we had certain times where we'd walk over to another classroom and sit at someone else's desk, and they would do the same. Someone was rubbing boogies on my fucking ruler and shit. I go to pick up my ruler one day. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Something weird and gross on my ruler, and I look and there's a lot of it, and I'm like, some fucking guy's picking his nose and putting it in my fucking desk. And of course,
well, what if it was just you?
Wasn't me. Even if I did, I wouldn't put it on my fucking ruler.
That just reminds me of all the typical shit that happened back in public school. I just remembered I have to tell my worst thing that I did because it happened in public school.
Naturally.
But I'll tell that after this. I was a big fan of Manhunt. Manhunt was probably one of my favorite games to play.
Fucking everyone was. I hated it.
There was this one kid, this one fucking guy. Every single time. he would be about to get caught, and then he would flop down on the ground.
Yeah.
And he would say, I have asthma, you shouldn't, it's not fair if you touch me. And
I said, well, I don't play fair.
And, like, if you touched him, he would make a big scene out of it, and he would start, like, forcing himself to dry heave, and then he would get the teacher, and then they would always give you dirty looks if you said, no, you're it, you fucking idiot. You don't have any proof that you have asthma. Because my mom works for a doctor, and I said, do you think this kid actually has asthma? And she said, I don't know. Tell him to bring his bracelet in that proves it. And I said, do you have a bracelet? And he said, what bracelet? The bracelet that proves that you have asthma. Oh, I leave it at home. I don't like wearing it. Well, you probably should wear it.
Yeah. Start wearing it, buckle. I remember.
Because if an ambulance ever has to pick you up, they don't know that you have asthma.
So what's the worst thing you've done?
Okay. This was grade 8, Eric. I had a very skewed way of looking at things.
Don't we all?
But I didn't quite grasp that some people are special. And I've probably been autistic for years, and I just ever didn't know it. But I don't think I'm that bad. But this was one of those kids that is allowed to sit in on the classes, and he's technically in the class. But every now and then, he has to like go to another class because they have their testing or they have their activities. Like, he's allowed in the class, but he's not technically in the class. He was that level of off.
Oh, we had some people like that.
Yeah, I remember
every class
by
did.
A lot of them.
And if you looked at him, you wouldn't be able to tell, but if you actually talked with him and you interacted with him, it would be obvious. I don't know why, but he really took a liking to me and my friend group. But we didn't really like him because we're kids.
Yeah.
But he also was kind of an asshole. But me and my friends were sitting around one day, and I invite some of the girls that are in our friend group over to play Twister, simply because, horny 13-year-old, I wanted to be close and touch women. I wanted to play Twister with girls. That was it.
Girls.
And all of my guy friends, they were like, yeah, I'm down. And then the girls were like, yeah, that sounds like it would be fun. And then he's just kind of sitting off in the not quite in our group, but kind of behind it. And he said, oh, I can't that day, I have speed skating. And we all just kind of turn and look at him. And then we all kind of start slowly walking away. And we're just kind of talking about it and snickering about it. We probably thought that we were being sneaky, but it's obvious that we weren't. And later on in that day, he goes to the bathroom, and I had to go to the bathroom too. So I kind of go in maybe around 5 minutes after him, and I go in the bathroom, and he's in a stall, and all of his clothes are off. Like, everything laid out on the ground. Everything.
I hated those kids.
And he was moaning.
Oh, boy.
I have no idea. It didn't sound like a poop, but it very well could have been. I heard slight slapping sounds, and like, and like, like sounds like that. And I was trying not to laugh. I automatically defaulted it to him wanking off. Which very well could have been possible, but I don't know, because I wasn't in the stall. So I go
For the
back.
best.
I go back, and I tell everyone. Like, this could have been something that I just didn't say. I could have been like, aha, yeah, he might be jerking off, and then I go back and I go about my business. I go back and I tell everyone, to the point that it gets back to the teacher, and then it gets back to the student body, and then it gets back to the principal. Yeah.
Ugh.
It was rough. I don't know if it could have been true. I felt kind of bad about it, kind of not. It was a very gray period for my childhood. But now, apparently, when we transitioned over to grade 11, he was being kind of creepy with one of the girls that we went to that was in our friend group. And this was a post that she made all the way back in grade 8, and she said, "I got a new phone. Comment with your numbers." And in grade 11 or 10, he scrolled all the way back to that Facebook post that she made and said, "Oh, I have no idea how this appeared on my feed. Anyway, here's my number." This is where Eric stops being bad Eric and it starts being good Eric, and I just kind of sit back and watch. I didn't intervene with this at all, but some of my friends, they took his number down and they started messaging him and messing with him even more. And he said, because one of my other friends named Eric, he messaged him and he had his name appear, and he said, you just said some random stuff to him, and he said, "Oh, you just wait, I'll have guys over there to kick the crap out of you and your scrawny ass." And other Eric was a big guy, so I think he thought that Eric was me.
Well,
but anyway, that's beside the point. And my one other friend, same one that jumped over the steel chain and also punched me in the dick, but
good guy.
Yeah, good guy. He started chirping him and just saying random stuff to him, calling him a creeper and all that stuff. The kid sent him a picture of a bunch of like still bleeding cuts on a slit wrist.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucked.
Going sideways, not up the road.
Oh.
And he said, "This is what you guys caused me all those years past." And then he said, "What? No, those are still bleeding." And he said, "Yeah, I just did them." And then my one friend, he does a quick Google search and he just said slit wrist, and it was the first image that showed up. So he called them out for them being fake, and then he just stopped responding. But that was the end of that.
You know what would have been funny? I don't know if you guys saw this, but like peak of like teen Justin Bieber age. There was this one infamous image going around
cut
where,
for Bieber because he started smoking pot.
Yeah,
That was started by 4chan.
really.
Yeah, they started that cut for Bieber thing. They
Wait.
started tweeting out cut for Bieber, and then people started falling for it.
Yeah, a girl legit cut Bieber into her arm.
Oh, no.
Imagine if he sent that photo instead.
This is what you did, only Bieber understands me.
But yeah, that's probably the worst thing that I've ever done.
That actually reminded me of the first part of that story reminded me of a less heavy incident that happened in a bathroom in elementary. I was in the bathroom. I used the bathroom and whatever, and I'm washing my hands, and the younger brother of a friend of mine comes in, and he's talking to me, and like, blah, 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 blah. Some other guy comes in and starts pissing at the urinal or whatever, and we're talking or whatever, and I think the guy I was talking to kind of maybe said something or something that got this guy's attention. So this guy who's pissing at the urinal just fucking turns around and stares at his dick in hand. Oh, I know exactly what it was, and I don't know how I forgot this detail. It's because when he walked up to the urinal, he just dropped his pants entirely.
Oh.
And so, of course,
I know what kid you're talking
yeah,
about.
you would remember
Those
him
kids
if you
were
saw him.
weird.
And so
Those were funky fellows.
This friend of mine, he looks at me, he's like, "What? What's going on over there?" And of course the guy turns around, big old fucking grin, dick in hand. What you talking about, guys? And I'm like, okay, keep it in the fucking in the area, bud.
I can only imagine just like the what was that kid's name from Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Fragley or whatever his name was, the weird kid that had the special hair or whatever.
You know what's funny? You probably know what bathroom I'm talking about, like the one that was always right beside the office. But yet, that's the bathroom that all the bad shit happened in.
Yeah, I know exactly. It was like right across the hall from it.
Yeah. Like, people punched holes in the walls.
It was Kyle.
I didn't get my monster!
Honestly, the kid that did it might as well have been named Kyle, because he was like the perfect Kyle.
I remember being in the washrooms when people would be like, ha ha, punch ceiling, jumps up and fucking punches a hole in it.
Yeah, because it'd be like the ceiling, that like office ceiling kind of type deal.
After the incident with the jerking off kid, I think I did a full turnaround, because I used to be one of those kids. And then after that incident, I did like a complete 180. I became such a good kid and like morally upstanding, where like if somebody was doing prank phone calls near me, I would have to walk away because I could not stand the idea of it. But anyway, continue.
Oh man, so many stories in that bathroom.
Bathroom stories are fucking shit. I remember. I remember sitting in class one time, grade 8, and you know some kid, as they always do, some kid like, "Hey, gonna use the washroom?" Yeah, go ahead. Goes off to the washroom, and he comes back middle of class. Teacher's talking about whatever. He just walks in. Hey, teacher. There's porn in the bathroom.
I remember that.
And
was it just some kid that drew a pair of boobs on the wall?
Not even. He said, teacher looks at him and is like, "Excuse me, what?" It's like, "Yeah, there's just some, like, it's just a picture of a naked lady." And he's like, "Did you take it down?" "Well, I would have, but
I put
someone
it up.
pissed on it, so I can't take it off the wall." And she just gives this look at him like, "God damn."
That reminds me of, oh my god, Adventures on Wonderland. That vile, decrepit place, the giant play place. I remember I saw kids pissing down the slide to make it a water slide.
So many weird things happen at that school. Like, there's just one kid who broke the system by hacking into, like, you know how, like, public schools will have accounts, like, everyone can use?
Yeah.
Some kid legit hacked into the account and changed the password on everyone, and no one knew who it was for a few weeks, so some kids never got to use the computers. There's also another kid who broke
Hacker Man.
every copier in the building because he decided to copy, or he decided to print monster logos, and he printed, like, over... like, I think 1,000 or 2,000 of them.
Legend. It was Kyle.
Oh no, you exposed me.
So every single time they turn it back on, all years, it's just a monster logo each time.
Oh, that's good. That reminds me oddly. You know that one kid that was in drama that always came and sat at our table with us?
There were a few. But
well,
are you talking the headphones?
Yeah, headphone
okay,
tall.
Yeah.
He messages me every now and then, and yeah, I think I even talked about that earlier. But he made a Facebook post a while ago saying that he likes it was just fairly endearing and kind of understanding because I've talked about it with him, and he said like he's attracted to like some of the not older but like maybe 30s, early 40s women that he works with, maybe even like late 20s, and because he just like understood them more and he felt like he could relate with them more. But he made a Facebook post that was kind of vague saying, "Why is it that every girl that I fall in love with is half my age?" And me trying to be
relax. Was that a typo, or did you actually...
over half my age.
Okay.
Sorry.
No.
So you said under half my age. I kind of fucked you up for a moment.
That's just a Freudian slip. But me trying to be supportive and understanding, I I typed a comment and I said, "Love is love, bruv, don't worry about it."
Bro.
And he liked it. But one of the other weird kids that we went to school with, I don't even remember interacting with him at all, but I know that he interacted with the other kid. He said, "That's just your fetish, and that's all it is. Be grateful, because I haven't even found my fetish yet." And
That's cringe, bro.
He got an angry react instantly from the guy, and like, oh my god, I wish I screen capped it because it was so fucking funny. It gave me a hearty chuckle because the only thing that I could hear after him saying that was just imagining it being said in the Leo and Satan voice. That's just your fetish, Leo.
That's just your fetish, Leo. Embrace it. I haven't found my fetish yet.
I haven't found my fetish yet, Leo.
That reminds me of the other kid we had drama with. You know, fine guy. Still see him sometimes. We don't talk much, but you know, I see him around. But he had this bad habit of.
Was he the one with the lisp?
No, don't think so.
Oh, okay.
He had a bad. You'll know who it is when I say this. He had a bad habit of fiddling with things, so he'd just take things. So as he was walking around, he would see something lying around, and he'd be like, "Well, I'm gonna take that, and I'm just gonna fiddle with it while I walk around." One time, one of the people in that class had surgery, so his knee was all fucked up.
He took the disabled man's cane.
Yeah, he had a cane to walk around, but of course he's lazy.
He kicked it right out from under him, and he killed him. It was funny.
He died. We had to go to the funeral.
I laughed.
And he took the casket too.
They played Smash Mouth for 3 hours. Oh my god, I'm gonna let you continue.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty much the thing of the story. The dude with the cane was lazy and thought it was funny, so he'd just lay out chairs and he'd lay on them. So of course he'd just kind of lean the cane against the chairs, and we'd be talking to him or whatever, and he'd want to get up, and then it's like, "Where's my cane?" And we look, and we're just like, "God damn it, the cane's gone." You just see
him fake walking around with it.
He'd be walking around. He'd be spinning it around. He'd be as if he needed to use it or something.
Pretending
and he'd
to
be
be
like,
an old
"Get back
man."
here with my cane!"
Man, that guy was so annoying. I hated him with a passion.
He did a turnaround.
Yeah,
And
he was a fine guy.
In grade
Yeah.
12, he started doing well.
He had his bad moments, but he was a fine guy in the end.
I see him every now and then too. He's all right.
Yeah, we've talked while we were
We've
while we were
drunkenly
drunk
walked
and shit.
from here to McDonald's, and we'll see him at his good old place of work, and we'll just kind of chat with him every now and then.
Yeah, and he's talking to us. It's normal conversation, and fucking Eric sits there at the end. He's like, "You think he can tell we're drunk?"
You think he can tell we're fucked?
You think he can tell that we're fucked?
Yeah, I didn't like him. Because you guys weren't there the one year I had him, where you guys weren't in my class.
Yeah, that would have been like the earlier year.
That was like grade 10 or 11.
I think I was. Was it in drama?
Yeah.
I was there. I was in every single class of drama with you.
Were you there with Lysette, Andrew, the one chick?
Every time you say his
Or
last
no, I
name,
don't think
I
so.
need to bleed.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel the need to.
Because you think it's like his first name at this point.
We need to bring him out of reality.
We need to censor reality. You had a thing you were gonna say, right?
Yes. Oh fuck, I don't remember it.
Damn.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, now I do. I got Cotton not Cotton Eye Joe. I got the witch doctor stuck in one of my coworkers' heads the other day,
Oh boy.
and it's still there. Mainly because I keep reinforcing it by sending pictures of me dancing to the song every single day to him.
You know what you gotta do? Just one day, just do the Elf and the Chipmunk one.
Ugh.
Oh no.
Matter in the witch doctor.
But
The way that it came about was this circles back to the funeral that you said.
the funeral that totally happened.
I like to gaslight my coworkers a lot. I like to just say random shit to them and hope that they believe it. One time I convinced like 4 people that I caved my brother's head in with a beer bottle.
That's fucked. Bro. Why would you try to convince people?
I don't know, it made me laugh. But
I just want to see their reactions when they fucking heard that shit.
But I don't remember who I said died, but I think I said that I hit I ran a 60-year-old woman over with my 4x4 truck, and I kind of dragged her to a funeral home, and then I had a mock funeral for her, and I said, play the Witch Doctor song on a loop for 3 hours. And he was like, damn, that's fucked up. And I'm like, yeah, that didn't happen.
Got him.
But then I started doing the ooh ee ooh ah ah, because he didn't know what the Witch Doctor song was. He thought that it was the one by Hobson.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, it's the one that goes ooh ee ooh ah ah, ting tang, walla walla bang bang.
I actually listened to that one by Hobson. It was actually pretty good. Video's pretty good too.
Yeah, video's wacky, but I got that song stuck in his head, which I never thought that I would be able to do that.
I mean, I imagine you get a lot of songs stuck in people's heads.
I do sing a lot. Obviously not on the podcast because I don't have a good singing voice.
Naturally, but the workplace is just a wonderful serenade.
Yes, the workplace is a place where sane people go to die.
Speaking of sane people go to die, fucking tornadoes this morning.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that severe thunderstorm we had for a whopping 2 minutes.
Yeah, dude, we almost died.
I
was sitting there. My grandpa, he likes to send out like news or whatever whenever something happens. First of all, I found this really funny because I heard around I think it was 1:30 when the announcement came out. It's tornado warnings, y'all gonna fucking die. But then at 2:07, my grandpa sends me a text saying that at 2:45 they announced a tornado warning. So I sit there, I'm like, how do you tell the future and still tell me after I already know? That's fucking weird. But
that's some mystic shit right there.
Old
He's a
people
being
magic.
that exists outside of reality.
Exactly. But later on, he texted me. I guess during the storm, because I mean, it was a pretty whack thunderstorm, and there was high winds.
It knocked the power out at my work for a little bit.
Yeah, we had some shaking, we had some lights flickering, but I guess he sends me pictures of someone related to me through some way, my grandma's sister or something who lives 2 blocks down from me, and says the storm has destroyed part of her porch. Part of her home is damaged because of the storm. Are you okay over there? Because she's 2 blocks down from you. I didn't see the text, so I didn't make a response. So he later actually called me. It's like, are you alive?
Are you fucking dead?
I sit there. I'm like, yeah, we're fine over here. And he's like, so he tells me in person. He's like, the storm has damaged part of this person's home, and she's 2 blocks down from you, so I just want to make sure you're okay. I say, yeah, I'm fine. And I look at the images afterwards, and the damage is just because she had a small tree that fell on part of it. I'm like, we don't have any trees that are gonna fall on my house, so we're fine over here.
Yeah, lightning struck really close to my apartment and fucking shook the windows and everything. I could see it through my curtain on my fucking wall. Oh man, that shit scared me for a moment.
I was walking around. I wasn't sure if I was gonna need to run to the basement and not die in a tornado or something, but I was just kind of walking around. I'm seeing where my cat is, because obviously if some shit goes down, I'm just gonna throw him in the basement with me.
Grab cat.
Yeah, grab cat. And so I'm sitting there. He's chilling. He doesn't actually know what to do. He's just feeling the house rumble, and he's just confused. But I walk over to the window and I look outside and watching the rain or whatever. Cat's kind of walks up to the window with me. Loud crack of thunder, and he's just like, woo!
Cat were flying.
Like those cats that turn around and see a cucumber.
Exactly. If I could spare a cucumber by throwing it on my dirty fucking floor, I would try that, but until then.
Guess what happened today?
What
A
happened
cat
today?
flew through your window like a bolt of lightning.
I wish. Actually, I don't. Cats. Yeah.
Make up your mind.
Twitch news.
Oh boy.
Does everyone remember Alinity?
Nope, I don't
I've
really
heard the
follow
name.
Twitch.
Twitch thought.
Okay, that's
The
all
whole
I need to know.
PewDiePie scandal.
Yes, I do know that now.
Guess what she did today?
What did she do today?
She shit on her keyboard.
Midstream, she's playing Apex, and one of her cats comes up, like sits on her desk. She just full on like kitty. It was all over Twitter, and you see PETA of all people fucking like, hey, Twitch, ban this bitch.
That actually reminds me of other things. Have you ever seen one of those, like, cam videos, like, amateur people, masturbating or whatever, just porn stuff? And there's this one I specifically seen where a girl's, like, lying on her back,
She
and
shoved
she's
a
like...
durable up her cooch?
Absolutely. She's like contorted, got legs kind of above her head or whatever, and she's going to town on that cooch or whatever.
She shit on the camera.
And she's on her bed, and her cat walks up and jumps on her stomach, and then just like lies down and starts purring while she's trying to fucking get off. And
I want to watch this video.
She just sits there and she's like, oh shit, I can't jerk off like this. This is weird now. And there was another one that was really good. Didn't involve a cat though. It was another like amateur cam video. Girl fucking playing with herself in her chair in front of her computer with webcam on, and she's like talking dirty to the camera or whatever, and she's like, oh, I'm so thirsty, give it to me, and then her little brother walks in a minute later with a thing of Kool-Aid and says, you were thirsty, and hands it to her and then walks out, and she just looks at it and she's like, oh my fucking god. Oh, it was golden.
What the fuck?
Oh, there's some
You were
good
thirsty.
You're thirsty.
Oh, that reminds me.
That kid is pure.
If you go to the funny section on Pornhub and search up most popular or like, I think most viewed and hit all time, guess what number one is?
What?
Red Solo Man sings, and it's just the Rick Ashley Rick roll.
Damn.
Or no, actually, it's Rick. Whatever, I can't pronounce his last name. Astley, whatever.
Yeah.
MTC.
Oh, the one where it's his voice remixed to sing MTC.
That shit's the best. I love it.
Ugh, good stuff. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for coming to our cast.
Can't wait to see the thumbnail to this one.
Oh yeah, I guess we should probably do something about our thumbnails. So, for those that don't know, our thumbnails are actually made by our precious young man here, Kyle.
I'm older than you.
I refer to everyone as a young man.
Fair.
Everyone.
Everyone.
An 80-year-old man. Hey, young man, what up?
So, with that being said, is there anything that you want to plug? Maybe an art Twitter or Tumblr?
No, because any place where I've actually posted my art, I just let it die.
Okay.
I'm not very good at keeping up with these things, so the only people who see my shit is just Discord servers with a few friends in them.
Alright.
But there was actually one thing. I made a shitty edit. I was talking to a friend, and we were just like, bruh, and so I made a meme. I'm like, bruh. And so he's like, what? So I made a shitty edit of a little comic strip that's yeah. And I made the shitty edit to make it myself, and I send it to him. He's like, bro, where'd you find that? I'm like, it's a shitty edit. I googled a meme and edited it. Well, I just yeeted that into a meme Discord I'm on. It's out there now. I'm like, god damn it. How could you do this to me?
I hope we see it.
I saw it.
He's seen it. I'll show you it after. But by after, I mean now, because we gotta end this. It's been your boys, MTC,
MTC.
Yeah, welcome to the MTC cast.
The MD cast.
When are we gonna make
MD
fucking
cast.
MTC our outro song?
We can't.
We'll
Why
get
not?
sued by S3RL.
I doubt
Cereal.
it. Is he actually with the company?
I don't fucking know.
I doubt it.
Anyway, S3RL, message us and give us permission to use your songs about
S3RL,
masturbation.
come on the podcast.
Yeah, come on the podcast.
In
defend your
multiple
honor.
ways.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's been Eric, Kyle, and Tyler. Thanks for coming. Like, favorite, subscribe, and share us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and maybe, I don't know,
SoundCloud.
come shoot us.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll blow this to Pornhub.
will do. Do they allow pure audio?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I would think they would.
Maybe
Probably.
we will.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll find out. Later.